sale deal, your fifth, your sixth, your 10th, whatever it is, you want to scale up. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Log off, then come back. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? Hold on a second. Microphone, mute microphone. Yes, you can hear me. Can you guys hear me? Yep. Oh my God. All right, you guys. I'm going to start over again. Happy Sunday. You guys, today is Sunday Q&A. Any question you have about wholesaling houses, drop it in the comment and let me know what's holding you back. What is the missing link? So that way you can take the next step. What are you missing? What do you need to get answered or you need to get figured out? Drop it in a comment and let me know, and let's get that solved. And you guys, if you're new to the channel, as you enter the live stream, don't forget to smash that thumbs up. And if you are interested in learning about wholesaling houses, then obviously smash the subscribe button, smash that bell notification. That way when I upload a new video, you will get notified. And so you guys, any question you have about wholesaling houses, drop it in the comment right now. Anthony216, let's give you guys some shout out here. Sorry about earlier, you guys. I do not know what happened. Well, I guess my phone is connected to the Bluetooth, so it couldn't, you guys couldn't hear me. Tina, Raymond, Ramen, Nicole, Jin, what up, buddy? What if buyers tries to go behind your back when he goes to view the property? So Anthony, basically, to be honest with you, I only experienced it one time where the seller or the buyer was trying to do that. And we built such a good rapport with the seller that the seller ended up telling us, he didn't tell us to buy, go behind the back, but hey, one of your partner came out and actually saying that he wants to buy the property from me directly. And the seller said, and we pretty much and the seller said, hey, we got such a good rapport with you. We ended up didn't want to do that. And then the agent was telling us that he wants to give us $5,000, so that way we can walk away from the deal. But typically, if their intention is to go behind your back, then there's nothing you can stop them. You can have them sign the non-disclosure, it's NCD or something like that, non-compete disclosure, where they have X amount of time where they can't compete with you on that deal, right? Where they can't go behind you and buy it. But you know what? I mean, they can send their family member, their partners, whatever it is out there to do it. So if their intention is to do that, then you can't stop them. But there is way to prevent, you know, obviously to prevent it is having somebody there to facilitate the showing. You know, and you can only do what the best you can do, but do not let that hold you back from showing the property to potential buyer because you over worry. You know, most buyer that are legit, they are in the business for the long term. You know, they're not in the business for a week, for a day, for a month. They're in it for a long term. So a lot of times you know, a lot of times majority of them will not do that. But there are bad people that will do that. There are buyers that will wait until your contract is expired and then come in and then negotiate and try to close the deal with your buyer. Yes. But you know what? Do not let that hold you back. Just do what you can to try to prevent it, but then just let it be, right? And you just now know that you don't work with that buyer ever again. You need to shut up. Oh my God. Mr. Wayne. What up, Khang? I guess Mr. Wayne's unhappy. We got an unhappy on a Sunday. How can you be unhappy on a Sunday? Happy Sunday, Khang. I had my first contract signed about 3 weeks ago, and we cannot locate end buyer. Well, Nicole, what are some ways that you try to market this property? Right? Well, what are some ways that you have tried to market this property to find the buyer? Maybe drop it in the comments so we can help you out. Happy Sunday, Jeremy. Tina, can you list your wholesale deal on an auction site? I don't think so. Dean William, Khang, what up? Mike Yin, what up, Khang? What up, buddy? And you guys, I actually just got a comment coming in, and it was coming from one of the subscribers, and she said, "Hey, Khang, it seems like I might mess up on my first wholesale deal. It's because I was talking to a seller, and instead of collecting information, how many of you have I lost? Sorry about that, you guys. The phone got overheated, so I gotta turn the car a certain way, so that way it's in the shade. How many of you guys have I lost? Let me see here. The earlier questions. Hold on a second. Let me see here. What's the other questions? I'm trying to go back to the other questions. Nicole, you said social media, wholesaling full times, Craigslist. There's another Facebook group that's called the Real Estate Investor or something like that. It has over 70 or 80,000 member on there. Try that as well. And then also too is try to put on Bigger Pockets. Biggerpockets.com, and then there's another one is myhousedeal.com. So try those, and then call all the local realtor in that area that you have a property that you're looking to wholesale. Try to call all of those realtor up and saying, hey, I'm with a local investment group. We got a piece of property up here under contract at a discounted price. Want to know if you have any cash buyer that's looking to buy these kind of property. It's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, etc. So just start giving them information. All right. So call the local realtor and see what you got. Sorry about that, you guys. The phone got overheat, so I went offline. I apologize. You guys, as you enter the live stream, remember to smash that thumbs up. And if you are new to the channel, if you're interested in learning about wholesaling houses, then smash that subscribe button, okay? Like that. And then the bell notification as well. So yeah, I think I was going back to a question where I just got an email that said, hey, Khang, you know what? I was on a phone call with the seller. This is my first deal, and the seller's motivated. I don't remember the question exactly, but she said, hey, instead of talking to the seller and gathering information on the property, I was talking about myself and my company. So she said, he or she, I'm not sure, was saying I was talking about myself instead of I should get a rapport, build rapport with the seller and get the information regarding the property. And you guys, that's the problem, is that a lot of times when you first start out and you don't know how to talk to seller and you do not know how to communicate, you're going to end up causing yourself an issue on this deal. You're going to end up causing a problem and possibly losing on the deal, because now, I guess she said that the seller's now is going to go shop around and not gonna, you know, it's gonna go shop around, try to see if they can find other buyers. So you guys, talking to seller is super, super important. Cash Shang property. Khang, I just purchased the seller script. I'm ready to make it happen. Boom. Welcome to the Massive Action Taker family, buddy. And now, Cash Shang property, make sure when you go into our private Facebook group, try to go through that. Try to go through it. I share with you an addendum. I share with you all kinds of stuff on there. So take a little bit of time, go through it. And then any question you have, pop it on there and we'll help you out, okay? But welcome to the Massive Action Taker family, you guys. Now, I'm going to answer one more question that one of you guys asked me on a Friday. Is, say, Khang, when I start out with, you know, when I start out with, like, what would you do if you start out with $25,000? You guys, that is a, that's plenty of money to start in this business. Knowing what I know now, I can take that $25,000 and turn it into $100,000 like that in 1 month. All right. So I'm going to give you guys, if I started out in a new market with $25,000 and knowing what I know now, this is exactly what I would do. So if you, whoever asked me that question on Friday, if you're watching, here it is. This is exactly what I would do. Okay. And you guys, if I can take the 25 and turn it into $1 million, it's just going to take some time, right? It's going to take some time, but I know I can take the $25,000 and turn to $100,000 in 1 month in wholesaling, like that. Okay. So first, what you want to do is you have that money. And if you are committed in this business, if you are determined and committed, what I want to do is go ahead and get a website going. Investor Carrot is who we use. It's roughly about $50 a month. They have everything set up for you. You punch in your phone number. You punch in your, I want to make sure it's not hot. You punch in your phone number. You punch in your company name, email address, and all that. And they can walk you through it. And that's it. They have it all set up for you. You just need to punch in those information. It's about $50 a month. Second is set up an LLC. It's only going to cost you $500 to set up an LLC. Set up an LLC, get a website, and then now the next thing is I would purchase my King Kong seller script package. Second, I would purchase my wife. I know I'm probably going to get a lot of thumbs down or hate on this, but I'm going to purchase my wife Lon's super marketing blueprint. You guys, let me tell you this, okay? With that kind of money, I would not cold call. This is what I would do. I would take the time to set up the marketing blueprint. You guys, the marketing blueprint that my wife is sharing with you guys, like it, for those of you who see the value in both products, you're going to buy it. But if you can't see the value, you're going to say it's too expensive and you're not going to buy it, which is completely fine. Maybe you can go and buy other people's products. That's completely fine. All I know is what we're using is working and it's working for us. And we have proven result from it. So that's all I can tell you. Okay. But you guys, the value it's $13.95. And what it is she used that exact marketing blueprint to generate us $250K per month. So I don't know, you know, so the value on that, it's up to you, all right? But whether buying from me or buying from whoever it is, whether you get it from whoever it is, doesn't matter. But you need to set up your marketing. You need the script to know how to talk to seller. And then this is what I would do. Set up your marketing plan. Let's go. And then we just hang out. I wouldn't worry about cold calling. I wouldn't worry about, well, I mean, like you're going to start building up your cash buyer. You're going to spend time. This is what I'm going to spend time doing. Once you set up your marketing blueprint, I would start off with about $1,500. I would start off with about 1,000 to test out your market, to see how many calls you're getting in, because you don't want to be overwhelmed. I would not hire anybody. I'm not going to hire anybody at this time. You know, so I'm sharing with you things that I know now. And with 25,000, what I would do, I wouldn't hire anybody, right? I would not hire anybody right now. So what you want to do is once that you want to spend 1,000 to test out your marketing, to see how many calls you're getting in and if you can handle those calls. The rest of the time, once you have your marketing set up, so have it consistent. Take $1,000, break it down into 4 because you want to send your marketing out per week. All right, you want your marketing to hit this homeowner 1 time per week to see how much call you're getting in. The rest of the time, I'm going to relax. Let's hang out. Let's go play some golf. Let's go play some basketball. Whatever you want. Hang out, relax. And what I want you to do is work on your script. Work on how to talk to seller. That way when the incoming call, because I know when you follow my wife marketing blueprint, when you send out this marketing, the call's going to come in. You need to know how to talk to the seller to get them from converting from going from a lead into an actual deal. If you do not know how to talk to them, you spend all the time cold calling, doing all of this, but if you do not know how to talk to them and communicate properly, you going to lose on these deals. Trust me, you are going to lose on these deals. Okay? So that's what I want you to do, okay? So once you get a good script, you get a good marketing that you are consistently sending out, all right? And then to me, I wouldn't even cold call. I just gonna go start connecting with agents, start to build up my buyers list. That's what I would do. I would put up ad on Craigslist, trying to go for buyers, right? Trying to find buyers. I would start building my buyers as I send out these marketing. I'm gonna sit back, work on my script, how to talk to seller, how to communicate. All right, because my package script will show you how to lock property up on a contract over the phone. You do not need to go out to meet the seller. Do not need to see the property. All right. Once you have soaked that in and memorized it, man, you're gonna crush it on the phone. When the seller calls in, they're gonna be so scared to talk to you because you're gonna crush it. You're gonna know how to negotiate, getting them from one point all the way to locking them up on the contract. So the whole time I would just chill, man. I would just chill, and I would just start building up my buyers list. Right? Start building up my buyers list, relax, work on what is needed. Work on what is needed and what is necessary. A lot of times people, you see, when I first started out, I thought you have to be busy. You have to do all kinds of stuff. When you work with limited budget, you have to do a ton of stuff, right? Because all the free stuff require your time. Driving for dollars, right? Cold calling, right? Putting up bandit sign. It requires your time, or like if you have money, then you can hire people to do it. But man, until you make that first couple of deals, I would not hire anybody because you want to start knowing the business. You want to start knowing how to talk to seller. You want to know how the process works. All right. Once you start feeling comfortable, now you increase your marketing. All right. So you start out with 1,000, then you go up to maybe 1,500, maybe 2,000. It depends on how comfortable you are. You start increasing your marketing, and then your deals is going to start increase. Because once you feel more comfortable, I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm so sorry. I'm rolling down all my windows. Just turn my AC on to cool the phone down. But yeah, that's exactly what I would do. Is that once you start, and I know because of the connection, I'm gonna get some thumbs down. And the thing is that once you start sending out your marketing, and then your call, and then once you're starting to know how things work, then your first hire should be somebody to take all your incoming call to help you out. So now you're going to increase your marketing. So once you train that person up to click all the incoming calls, to take on all your incoming call, do not send out, do not increase your marketing until you have that person train up. Because taking incoming calls is going to take the majority of your time. It takes a lot of times to filter out these sellers from one that's saying they wanted to sell, but that they're not motivated to sell. So you got to filter these sellers out, and it takes a lot of time to filter them out. All right. So before you increase your marketing, that should be your first hire, is hire someone that can take on that incoming call to filter, and then once they have located a motivated seller, they send it to you. You call back at a purchase manager to lock that property up on the contract, and then you're gonna go sell that property. So with the 25K, that's exactly what I would do. I would go and buy these products, and it doesn't have to be from me, you guys. It does not have to be from me. And you know, it does not have to be from me. And like I said, if you see the value, you will buy it. If you do not see the value in it, you're not going to buy it. And the thing is, a lot of times when even if I tell you, if with 25,000, this is what I would do. And you guys, this is just my personal opinion. That's exactly what I would do. Everybody does it differently. I'm just sharing with you my opinion of what I would do if I have $25,000 to start all over again, knowing what I know now in a new market, in a completely different new market. That's exactly what I would do. Okay. So, anyways, you guys, if that, I hope that helps you out. And a lot of times what it is like, you know, you do not know the outcome, right? So let's just say you're driving in a new city, a new area, you know, and you don't know what's the next turn, what's the next curve. So you are kind of scared, right? You're kind of scared to actually do it. But knowing what I know now, I'm so confident that I can take that 25 and turn to 100 just in 1 month. And be able to take the 25 over time, turn into $1 million. No problem. Knowing what I know now. But for you, you might be a little hesitant. But with that kind of money, if you know how to do it right, if you know how to do it right, you can turn that 25 into 100, into $1 million. All right? So anyways, I hope that helps you out. Drop me a comment and let me know. I forgot who asked that question on Friday. And that's why having a mentor coming in, having a mentor it's good because they already been where you want it to be, right? They already been where you want it to be. So a lot of times, you know, it's like you're in the dark. You do not know the next step. Is it safe to go? Is it not safe to go? So your decisions is kind of blurry. You don't know. And that's why when you have a mentor, they are your eyes. They can see it already, right? They can see it already. Joe Johnson, what up, buddy? Cisco, happy Sunday. Joe Johnson, Billy, Super Khang, if you find a deal on an MOS, what contract do we use? So, Billy, if it's on the MOS, typically you probably have to use the agents, the realtor contract. And like I used to, I was so scared and so worried when it comes to contract when I first started, because obviously I'm not a reader, right? I'm not a reader. You know, when I look at it, like I do not know what is saying there, right? And over time, this is all you need to worry about, Billy, is that in that MOS contract, all you need to worry about is there an inspections contingent. That's all you need to know. You need to have a contingent, inspection contingent, or a feasibility contingent, and you should be safe, which means you just need to tell your realtor. So now I don't even look at the contract when they send over. I look at it and I look for one reason. Is there a contingent in there? Like I said, I wanted it. So typically on an MOS, the most time that, you know, they allow you, if it's on a single family home, it's a 10 to 15 days inspection. Feasibility is typically longer because it could be on a multifamily, it could be on a land, it could be on a subdivision, so it can be longer. But it's not necessary. It has to be 10 to 15. You can ask for more, right? I'm just saying that's the standard, that's the normal. If you ask the agent, that's what he or she would say. But you want to get as much time as you can because we need that time period to be able to back out if we can't find the buyer, okay? So as long as it has that inspection contingent, I'll just sign it. I'll sign it. I'll just go through and sign it. I mean, and I do it all electronically. They send it over. I saw the inspection. I just sign. Click sign. Because that inspection contingent, Billy, will allow you to get out. So within that 15 day, let's just say 15 day, within that 15 days period, if you can't find your buyer, you just tell the agents, number doesn't work, man, or him or her, number doesn't work. It's not going to work for us. It's not going to work for a company. It's not going to work for me and my partner, whatever you want to say, man. And you'll be able to back out the deal. The property now go from pending to back onto active again. And you go on and you get your earnest money back and you move on to the next deal. I have, there were times where we were working on a larger deal. It's a $2 million deal, and the seller, because you're working with agents, they ask for earnest money, and I had to put down like $50K, and literally I just say, as long as there's an inspection, I just sign. Like, I don't even need to read anything. I just sign, because that inspections will allow me time to get my earnest money back. So I don't really care. I don't really care what else is on there. All right. Because the buyer, you're going to find the buyer. The buyer, their job is now to go through and do all their due diligence before they want to move forward and buy the property. Your job is to be able to lock it up so you can do whatever you need to do with that property, which is find a buyer for it. So let me see here. Oh man, there's so many questions. I'm sorry, man. Okay, let's see if I can pound all these questions out. Oh my God, there's so many. Tyrone Real Estate's investor. What if the seller not working with you as far as answering your phone call, getting under contract with a real estate agent, and it's pending with an agent? I have it under contract for another week. Oh man, I gotta read this all over to understand it. I'm so sorry. What if the seller not working with you as far as answering your phone call, getting under contract with a real estate agent, and is pending with the agent? I have it under contract. Dude, bro, like I read that and I'm confused. Like so let me try to see if I can piece it together. So you're saying you have the property under contract, not directly with the seller, but with an agent, and you have 1 week, and it's pending with the agent. I have it under contract for another week. So yeah, man, so you have that week to go ahead and try to find the buyer for the property. So I'm not sure if I understand you right. But I'm sorry, man. It's okay. Like my reading, that's what happened with my reading. So I wish YouTube had this voice thing where, you know, you guys can send over a voice and I can play it. Dean William, Khang, I have a seller who signs contract for a property, but we cannot get in touch with seller now. What to do? Oh, man. So typically when it comes to that, which means there's two things that could happen. Seller has changed their mind because another investor comes in, or I guess a couple things can happen. Seller run into an issue maybe with the family, with the health, like maybe emergency issue where they couldn't come in contact, or they have an agent come in and now telling them the property's worth more than what it's supposed to be, so now they don't want to talk to you. So that could be, so there could be multiple reasons for that. But typically my whole thing is a lot of time we can't come in contact with them because they got in contact with another investor, they got in contact with an agent, or there was some emergency that came up with them. But you would have to do what you need to do, man. Send emails. If you are in the area, maybe you have to go knock on the door, send letters. So you have to kind of start the whole thing again to try to see if you can get in contact with the seller. Jeremy Smith, block him. It's okay, man. We should. Customer name, I want to start wholesaling here in Las Vegas. Do you have any experience here? Las Vegas. I don't. I know that there's a lot of investor, wholesaler in Vegas. You should start reaching out, going to the local RIA there and start networking, just networking, putting out your name, asking questions and trying to learn the business. Join some Facebook family there, join some Facebook in that local Las Vegas, and just start putting your name out there, start learning, start connecting, and then just taking action. Audrey, Adrian, as soon as you have your purchase and sale agreement contract, do you send it straight to the title company or go to the title company as soon as I receive both contract? You know what? That's the only reason why people do not send in their contract to the title company once they lock the property up in the contract, because they're scared. Let me tell you what's they're afraid of. They're afraid that they can't find a buyer for this property, and now there's a contract in this title company or attorney. What are they going to do? Are they going to lose their earnest money? Is the seller's going to come after me? Like, what's going to happen? And that's why they don't send it in, because they're afraid that they can't cancel it. All right, for if they can't find a buyer. So what I'm telling you, if Adrian, if your contract is fully protected, right? You having all the contingent in there, just send it into your title company, your attorney, or the attorney, and if you can't find a buyer, you should be able to back out. But once it's signed, you want to send it in and you want to get escrow open up. And then once you find your buyer, you send them the assignment agreement, they sign, then you send it in your title company or the attorney, and they should know exactly what to do. Dominic Spankla. Dominic, what up, buddy? Happy Sunday. What company do you use for direct mail, and how did you build your cash buyer list when you first started? Dominic, So Dominic, my wife will share all of that and beyond and above and more, but I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver with you. But she will share with you her marketing blueprint of what list to pull, what company, all right, what company, what list to pull, how often do you send it out, and she will do a video. It's super she's super detailed. She'll do a video, show you exactly step by step how to do it, how to pull the cash buyer from list source. And I'm gonna have her, for those of you who want to prepay for it, I'm gonna have her share with you guys the two-person that I'll have her give you the name and the phone number of the company and the person that she works with to help her send out all the marketing, and also to use the person that she works with to help us find our VA. So you can go on there and say, hey, whatever Lon sent out, I want to send out that exact same thing. Khang, I purchased the seller script. I'm ready to make it happen. Yeah, man. Let's do it. Get onto, and then also too, so when you guys buy it, you guys be able to go onto our private Facebook group. And man, that's where I kind of pull back the curtain a little bit, sharing with you guys above and beyond, kind of inside the business, even more. Meet, if you try to find cash buyer through a realtor, would they expect to be looking for a finder fee? Well, Meet, basically what it is you have to ask. Remember this, always ask, do not assume. Always ask, do not assume. So Meet, let's just say if you were an agent, I would call up and I would say, hey, Meet, we have a piece of property located, don't have to give the address yet, but hey, my name is Khang. I'm with a local investment company. We find a lot of discounted property. We actually do have a couple of property right now. I want to reach out to you to see if you have any, do you work with any cash buyer that's looking to buy these to fix and flip, or to buy, fix up for long-term rentals? Do you work with any cash buyer? If you say yes, and if I send you a deal, if I send you a deal, I'll go ahead and I'll ask you, so Meet, what would you want, what would you want if we end up doing a deal together? And Meet, you will be surprised. Some of these agents will, so typically they want what their commission is, 2 to 3%, right? 2 to 3%. Some will just give you a flat fee. Hey, if I find you a buyer, if we end up doing a deal, I'll just want $1,000, because they're looking on the back end where once their investor, the cash buyer, buy the property, they fix them up, they're going to go and relist it back with them, and that's where they make their the majority of the money, because now they're making 2.5 to 3%. Instead of on top of $100,000, maybe they want to resell that property at $300,000 or $400,000. All right. So Meet, and a lot of times I have agents said, hey Khang, no, I just want to be able to do a deal with you, man, because I want my buyers to have project, and then I'll end up listing the property with them, so I don't need any money from you. So you'll be surprised. James T, I'm closing my first deal for $50K. I need a marketing blueprint. Bro, dude, congrats, man. I'm closing. Hey, James T, when you close your first wholesale deal, I figure this is your first deal. Man, remember to reach out to me, wholesale2millions@gmail.com. Drop me an email. I want to get you onto the show to share your story and your first wholesale deal. But James T, man, when you purchase the marketing blueprint, man, it will blow you away. Because I asked my wife to share with you guys, like, above and beyond. How to train this VA up, how to give them brace, how to give them bonus, and things like that, etc. You got to go onto a private Facebook group where I share even more and more stuff inside the business. Digital cash. But man, that's awesome, dude. That is huge. $50K on a first deal. You guys, and a lot of times that's what it is. It only takes one deal to change everything completely around, all right? In this business, it only takes one deal to change your financial situation around. And let me ask you guys this question. When it comes to buying something, let me ask you guys a question this. And that's why I said, what it all comes down to is value. When you see the value, you pay it because you know it's there, right? You pay it. You pay it. Doesn't matter. You pay it. It's that when you run into a problem, has there been a time where you ran into a problem where you'd be like, man, I just want to pay somebody. I don't care. If somebody can tell me how to solve this, I'll just pay them. Whatever the amount is, I'll pay it. So when you see the values there, man, you will. How do you deal with people send ridiculous ARV, just lowball them? Digital, I'm not sure what you mean, man. Digital cash, I'm not sure what you mean by How do people deal with people sending ridiculous ARV? I guess when you mean like when you talk to the seller and the seller said, when you talk to the seller and the seller said, hey, they want it so high, then yeah, which means they're not serious. So you just make them a low ball offer and move on. Christina, do buyers usually expect more or less of a return in terms of percentage when property are over 200, or is it 20-30%? The standard, no matter what the price of the property? I heard another wholesaler. Christina, typically what in my personal experience, it's typically the percentage. It's typically the percentage is 20-30%. That's what they want. You will have some buyer, some flipper that said, hey, you know what? If I buy the property, if I put $50,000 to rehab the property, I want to get $50,000 back. So if they put $50,000 into rehabbing the property or into buying the deal, then they want that money back. If they put $20,000 into it, they want $20,000 back. If they put 10 into it, they want 10 back. But what I know is typically the 20 to 30%. But typically it's the 30%. The 20% is for buyers that those are the kind of buyer that you will probably have to spend a little bit more time to find. But in today's market, things are heating up. So a lot of times where it depends on the area, it depends on your area as well. If you're in a hot market, buyer, you will find those 20 to 25% buyers. Ryan O, if you renegotiate and cannot sell the house, do you have to buy it yourself? No. Ryan, if you are using the right contract, then no. That contract should protect you and give you a way out. Billy Super Khang, if I find a deal on the okay, I already answered that questions. Joe, Cisco, Joe, Adrian. Oh man. G, what's the best way to estimate repair when you inexperienced? G, when you are inexperienced, yes, it's gonna. So what you want to do is you want to call some contractor in your area. All right, you want to attend your local RIA because there you can find investor, you can find all the wholesaler, you can find, especially you will be able to find contractor there. All right, and then you want to start networking with them. You want to start asking them a question. Hey, G, hey Khang, if I'm looking to remodel a kitchen, what do you think it's cost? What do you think it's cost for a bathroom? Then you just start taking notes, and then you just have to base on that and then make your offer. And sometimes it's just also based on square footage as well. So I would call some contractor, ask around, and then just start getting some pricing, man. Zachary Robinson, what's your advice for wholesaling high-end flips? Wholesaling high-end flip. Zachary, I typically like to stick with the bread and butter. It's between that, the 150, the 2, the 3, the 400. When you get to, the 5, the 6, the 7, then you're going to start building up a different cash buyer. But it also depends on the area as well. If you're in New York, if you're in like Los Angeles or San Jose, those are, they are high end. So which means there are cash buyer that has that kind of money. But if you are in an area where houses are between 200 and 300, I would pick the 200 and 300 over the million, the $700,000-800,000. Because there's more buyers that has those kind of money sitting there than the 8 and 9 or the $1 million. Hope that helps. James Caller, do you market tax default? Yes. If so, any follow-up tips? Consider times content before auction. James, yes, we do market that, buddy. Do cash buyer normally provide proof of fund? I never had to ask any of my cash buyer to provide proof of fund. I know that people, there are people that do that and say, hey, you know what, provide proof of funds, we need earnest money, all that. I never had to deal with my cash buyer. Khang, where can I find private lender? I want to double close so I can close for sure and avoid hurting other people in stress situation. I completely understand, man. So you want to do a double closing. What you are looking for is transactional funding. So if I were you, I Google it. Go on Facebook, Google it. Go on Wholesaling Houses Full-Time. Post that question. I'm looking for transactional funding. You do not need private lender. You need transactional funding. Transactional funding typically will help you out with double closing, because they will put the money in for that time to close on it, so your buyer can come in and buy from you, and they'll get their fee. And that's what you need, transactional funding. What are the best house to go after? 3-bedroom, 2-bath, doesn't matter. Joe Johnson, it doesn't matter, depending on your buyer. But it's the whole thing is about getting that deal under contract at a certain discount. So I have wholesale down house where there's only a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, etc. It's all come down to the price. Larry Smith, hey, I have a seller that accept my offer $600 for a property worth $780, but the thing is the house is worth $280. But the thing is the house is worth $280 and the 7-point acre is worth $700. How much should I sell to the end buyer? I do not. Let me see here. So the property's worth, okay, my offer is $600 for the property, worth $780. Worth $780. How much should I sell to the buyer? Well, so Larry, you gotta, okay, so basically what it is, you gotta figure out your percentage. So the 7.2 acre, you gotta figure out what can the buyer do with the 7.2 acre. Can they subdivide it? And it depends, man. Once you work out your number, you are the one decided what, how much to charge, right? But you gotta make sure that that number, how much you charge on top of what you got on the contract, still needs to make sense for your end buyer. So I'm not exactly sure how to do your deal, man, because I don't know what you can do with the 7-point acre. Because if it's worth $780, let me see. I have a seller that accept my offer $600. Does the property needs any work? If you got under contract for $600, and the property worth $780, if you take $780 minus 30%, I think that's less than $600. So I don't know how you're gonna make your fee, man. I mean, I don't have a calculator, so I don't even know if my math is right. But to me, that number seems like tight if you minus 30%. I don't think it's there. Nicole Austin, what are your thoughts on them cracking down on wholesaling? Nicole, I'm not sure what you mean by cracking down on wholesaling. Wholesaling is completely legal. All right. If anybody tells you it's not, ask them the question: Have they done a deal yet? Have they done any yet? If they said no, then why would you listen to them? I mean, Nicole, maybe this will help you out and give you that peace of mind. If you go Google and if you search in any area, there are wholesalers in that area. And the states has come down on me, and because some seller got upset or some calls in, and they went and they took 4 months to dive into my business, to go into everything, calling, contacting everything to make sure that I'm not that everything I'm doing is legal. And I already know it's legal, so I wasn't even scared. But they took 4 months to crack down and came back and given me a letter and say, yep, everything is good. So maybe that gave you a peace of mind. Khang, I'll be your wholesaler slave if you can walk me through a deal in person. I'm sorry, man. Austin Wholesale Journey. King Kong in the house. What up, buddy? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the family. Just a few more minutes, you guys. I just want to crank this out here. Try to answer all you guys' question. Who or where can I find a mentor to scale to a virtual wholesaling business, Khang? Where? I mean, man, there's... it's not about where to find it. It's that how can you find a good mentor that are not just teaching, but actually doing. And yeah, man. And are they willing to mentor you or not? I mean, that's another questions, right? But if you are just looking for program and mentorship, man, if you pop that questions in Wholesaling Houses Full-Time Facebook group, trust me, man, you're going to have so many people. Let's jump on it. But trust me. The mentor, the value, the mentor that you're going to get, that you want to create a certain result. So basically when it comes to getting mentor, is that find a mentor that are where you want it to be. Find a mentor where you want it to be. Okay. James Caller, how much do you net a monthly, Khang? Well, right now we spend about 35 to 40,000 in marketing, including employee and everything like that. We're pumping out about 250K a month in wholesaling, and I am falling short on my goal. It's supposed to be 350. Yoni Wayne, hey Khang, what do I say to a seller? a real estate attorney when they ask for a big amount of earnest money and proof of fund? Yoni Wayne. Typically, if you Google it, there are companies that will provide you and share you and give you proof of funds. But as for the attorney asking you a big amount of earnest money, you either have to find that earnest money, you know, so you have to go out there and raise money and try to find that earnest money, or you just come back and say, hey, you know what? I talked to my partner, or I went back and talked to my company. They're not willing to put that much amount up. We have, you know, we buy a lot of property in the area, so we do have a lot of our money. You know, we don't want to have a lot of our money tied up in this one property, right? Because we have so many of our money tied up in multiple properties already. So my company or my partner, you know, they don't want to do that. When you cold call, do you only call in your market? Billy, yeah, basically, man, you have to be able to narrow down your focus of what market you want to dominate, because you don't want to cold call all over the place, because in that area, you're going to start building up your cash buyer list, right? You're going to start putting your name out there. So if you spread out too thin, your name won't be recognized. But if you dive in one area to dominate, then you can focus more. Hope that answered your questions. Justin questions, where can I look for a good virtual mentor for scaling into a virtual instead of my local market? Man, I'm not exactly sure about your question. It's all about coming down. Then you just need to look for a mentor that does wholesaling houses virtually. I don't mentor. Sorry. It will be too expensive. Khang, I have a seller who signs contract for a property. I have so many emails saying, hey, Khang, would you mentor? Would you mentor? No, I don't do it. I just love my free time. And if I do, it's just going to be too expensive for like 99% of you guys. Khang, I have a seller who signs contract for a property, but we cannot get in touch with seller now. What do you do? Escrow already open. Dean, man, you just have to try to find a ways to call them, man. Get a hold of them. If you can't, then they might find something else. Another investor, an agent come in and can't do a deal with you now. What's the best method for wholesaling and REO property? For REO, Mark, typically you have to double close, or you have to actually buy the property and then turn around and then resell it. So you probably end up having to do a double closing. Dillian Poe, when you price your home, how high do you market your property from what you want? Dillian, I'm not exactly sure. Let me see. I know what you mean here. When you price your home, how high? You mean the property that we tied up in a contract? So, you know, we try to lock it up under as contract as, you know, as cheap as possible. And then when we go and we send out to a buyer, instead, I send it out at a 20%. Oh my God. Okay, Sunny 10. What is the best way? Okay, God, oh my gosh, I have to turn off the air. Okay, what is the best way to get motivated distressed seller leads? So Sunny 10. Now it depends on if you have money or not. There are free ways and there are pay way to do it. All right. If you have money, then you don't have to put up so much of your time to do it. What you want to do is you want to figure out the marketing plan of how you're going to market to these sellers. And then you just send it out, sit back, work on your communication of how you talk to these sellers once the call comes in, and that's how you lock them on the contract. Now, if you don't have the money, then you're going to trade the boss. So sorry about that, you guys. I got to head out. So just a few more. I mean, to me, when I first started out, Sunny 10, when I first started out, my strength, where I got seller leads is from expired listings. So you want to pull all the expired listing, and what you want to do is you want to send these sellers a letter, telling them that you want to buy their property. Anyways, you guys, I gotta end this. Thank you so much for those of you who are able to join. I hope I was able to answer all your questions. And sorry about the internet connections, the coming on, coming off. I completely apologize, and sorry for at the beginning. I don't know why, because it's connected to my car, so it went on mute, so I'm sorry. Anyways, you guys have a great rest of your Sunday. If you are new to the channel, if you're interested in learning about wholesaling houses, how you can do it virtually, smash the subscribe button, and do not forget If this video add any kind of value to you, smash that thumbs up. Take care, you guys. Have a great rest of your Sunday. And remember, it only takes one deal to change everything around. Take care, you guys.